What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Danny the Bull, back with another live stream here on a Saturday afternoon. It's been a wild 24 hours in crypto. The space is always wild. It's been extra wild. Went to sleep. I fell asleep last night on the couch at 9 o'clock watching wrestling with my daughter. I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to news that Donald Trump had launched an official meme coin, and it was absolutely going nuts. So we're going to talk about Trumpcoin, what it means. Is it good or bad for the space? We'll talk about the coming alt season and inauguration days around the corner, a lot of things around the corner. We'll talk about our favorite alts as always. So light up the chat. We'll talk about Tectum, which I see is the first question here, and I'm going to star this. We're going to get back to this because I do have some thoughts on Tectum. The price has lost support, dropped under $4 for the first time in some time. Let's talk about all our favorite alts. Light up the chat, hit the like, and subscribe to the channel. Let's see who we got here. Base Lab in the house. What's good? Let's go. Trumpcoin on Sol. Will that push alt season? I think it could definitely help with push along alt season and bring new eyes. It's definitely bringing new eyes to the space. It's going to capture mainstream media attention. It's going to capture headlines. It already is capturing headlines. I'm waiting for my 85-year-old father to call me to tell me to get him a bag of Trump coin. So I think that this will absolutely onboard a bunch of people into the space. So we're going to dig deeper. But I think all season we're pushing up against it, man. It's around that time, and I'll give you my thoughts on it after I get through the who's who of in the chat. Raven in the house. Let's go, Chucker. Calps in the house. What's good? Having a great weekend. Timo in the house. What's good, brother? B-Dubs in the house. How are you? Yes, Russ says smash the like, smash the like. OG Vault. Is OG Vault a Trump supporter now? Has OG Vault been bought off? Timo, Tet still hodl. I'm still holding. I did trim a little of my Tet at $4.50. We'll get into it. Corey, what's good? Absolutely, brother. Anytime. Always happy to help. And always try to stay balanced. So let's just get into it. I'm going to address Tectum for sure, so don't worry, guys. But I want to go in order of what I got here, and we'll start as always with Bitcoin, which is pushing up against it, man. It's pushing up against, flirting with new all-time highs. $104,000 leading into inauguration day, which is what I think everyone expected, right? We expected a run into inauguration day. Does it break out beforehand, after? We'll see. But 104,000, down about 1% on the day. We were started at 105. But, any close, if we get a close on the daily and then the weekly tomorrow above 104, it's quite possible we're looking at new all-time highs for Bitcoin next week. Time will tell. We've got, of course, inauguration day on Monday, and many expect executive orders on crypto. And it does look like the first thing I thought when I woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning and I could not go back to sleep was this: he's going to pump our bags. Trump is going to pump our bags. He's going to pump this crypto market up. The guy launched a freaking meme coin. He's the president. He's about to be the president of the United States again. He launched a freaking meme coin on the weekend before his inauguration while throwing a crypto ball, a black tie event hosted by David Sachs, sponsored by Sui, Solana, Ondo, KuCoin, Coinbase. He hosted a black tie affair, a crypto ball, and during it launched Trumpcoin. Absolutely bonkers. And now OG Vault is a supporter. Well, it's supporter of the coin. And there are different thoughts, schools of thought, right? And I've seen on both sides people who hate this, people who love it. I have not bought it because I missed it and I'm not chasing. It's gone up ridiculously. This is the hourly chart. So it's settling in here at about $25, which is market cap of $5 billion. It's being reported online that it's like a $20 billion market cap. It's not. The circulating supply is, I think, 20% of the total supply. So the total supply off my head is 800 million tokens. I forget. I don't remember. But it's not all in circulating supply. 20% in. Terrible tokenomics on this thing, right? I would not, if this were any other coin, if this were a regular meme coin, it'd get shitted on, right? Terrible, terrible tokenomics. If you look at it, here's the website. He looks so young in this picture. He does not look 78. He looks very slim. There it is. When I first saw it, I thought it was like his NFT cards, but when I copy and pasted the CA over here into Solana, huge boon for Solana, which is up like 15% today or something, over $250 now. But look at the allocation on this thing. It's like 10% to the public, 80% to creators and CIC digital, right? Spread out over, I think, 3 years. Dilution will occur over 3 years, but 80% going to creators and CIC digital. Those are the guys who do his NFT collection. So they don't have supply now, right? I forget what 10% is in liquidity maybe, and 10% went to the release. And here we go, 36% unlock or 10% initial cliff, and then daily 36% over 24 months. Locked up 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So it goes out for a couple years, but 80%, that's crazy. Unprecedented. And so, what do I think about it? I think it's wild as hell. I think it signals the shift. This is such a clear signal to the market. You've got, again, you're coming from the most anti-crypto regime doing regulation by enforcement, suing Coinbase, Operation Choke Point, the Ripple, the XRP, the library lawsuit, all these lawsuits. I think there was a lawsuit against, is it Kraken? Was it? All of these guys, right? Gensler and everyone going after everyone. And then an about face, and you can't do a bigger about face than launching a meme coin. So, is it opportunistic? Yeah. It's a cash grab. Yeah. Right. I can see that, people pointing to both of those things. This will one day go down 90%, 95%, if history repeats, because that's what all coins do. And when that happens, people are going to point fingers and say it was a scam, it was a rug. So no matter what happens in the short term, long term, it will be used against him by, people. But as long as he doesn't hawk Tua on this thing and, and dump it, and as long as it holds and grinds up and does well over the short term, this is going to be a bullish short-term event, because it is going to bring retail in hordes. It's going to market this space, and people are going to see how this went up, big in a short amount of time. And they don't know about market cap. They're going to buy it at a $5 billion market cap. Retail is going to pile in, I think. And I do think this will have some legs, being an official Trump meme coin. We'll see how it plays out, how strong the chart looks, and all of that. But $5 billion market cap on day one sucked the liquidity out of alts, out of Solana, out of all alts, kind of took a dip as money was piling in to this, which went to a $5 billion market cap in less than 24 hours. So, long term, it's going to be used, I'm sure, against him. People are going to call it a cash grab, opportunistic. Short term, I think it hurts other coins, for a couple of days as it sucks liquidity out. But I would assume that this stuff is going to rotate back out, right? And more people are going to pile in. You're going to get headlines. Not like that. You're going to see more and more headlines like this. Donald Trump's Trumpcoin dominates crypto scene with explosive $4.5 billion debut. And that would be, at the time of this article, what the fully diluted value would be, right? You're going to see these headlines. And when the news cycle opens up again, well, I guess it's 24 hours, but, when my father's watching Fox News on Monday, he's going to find out about this and he's going to ask me to buy him some. So this is a good question here. How do we know it's legit? It wasn't, it's now 14 hours later and it hasn't been taken down. Elon would have intervened. And also, here you go, Eric Trump. I am extremely proud of what we continue to accomplish in crypto. Trump is currently the hottest digital meme on earth. And I truly believe that World Liberty Fi, that's their other project, will revolutionize DeFi, CeFi, and will be the future of finance. We are just getting started. So they're going to be using this term to pave the way for a crypto enterprise here. The writing is on the wall. They launched this meme coin. It's got the potential to be, I think it's already a top 5 meme coin. It flipped Brett. It's knocking on Pepe's door. So they've got this huge meme coin. They've got the other project coming out. This is absolutely wild. And I think a little unexpected, kind of came out of nowhere. Jordan Riz is all for it. Only 20 hours so far. Crazy. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Let's see. When our dirty Ponzi coins moon. And I think, the setup is there. You've got, wow, look at Jordan. He's up 10K so far. Good job. And Russ asks, why can't we just get Elon to tweet Mcade? Imagine. The setup is there. My father are already, and I use him as an example because he is an example of retail, right? Wanting to get in. My father asked me on Friday to buy him that coin, and he couldn't place it. That starts with an X. I was like, XRP? And he was like, yeah, that one. Because he saw it on the news about how it's, on a tear. And so more and more people, and, people at work, I ask them, some people are getting back into crypto, and I ask them, what are you holding? And they say like XRP. This is what they're buying. This is what retail buys. And so we're getting close. And this will, I think, amplify it, and I think move us along. And I think will be, as long as, again, he doesn't like Hawk 2 of the chart, which they can't because 80% is locked up. As long as the chart holds up and continues to, gain traction and attention, I see it as a bullish short-term and possible, accelerator of this alt season. You got that. You got the inauguration with the pro-crypto orders that are supposedly coming in the first few days. And all signs are pointing to this, right? The writing's on the wall. The things that were said that are going to happen, they're going to happen. All right, and that includes repealing SEC guidance, shooting down the old lawsuits and squashing them that the SEC had started against Coinbase and the others. Squashing choke point 2.0, which effectively put pressure on banks to, put pressure on exchanges so that people couldn't get access to liquidity and get, use banks as an onboard and off-ramp, on-ramp and off-ramp for their crypto. And perhaps most importantly, rescind SAB 121, which makes it too costly for banks to custody crypto because they had to track it as a liability and count it as a liability. So that, and then you throw into, the reserve currency and all that stuff. We've been talking about this. It's kind of a perfect storm. And then, but keep in mind that the Fed meeting again is on the 29th. So we've got key events, the inauguration and the days after inauguration. And then the 29th of January is the next Fed meeting where the market will be receiving signals, and we'll see how those signals affect the dollar. This is the Dixie, which is, it started to come down a bit, I think, after the CPI data came in, which was, on par. Wasn't negative, I guess positive. Inflation came in as expected, 2.9%. So it had dipped a little bit. This is an uptrend for the Dixie, and you got to reverse this thing. So we'll see what the Fed says on the 29th, but that's what we're looking for. All right, inauguration, what happens in the days after, and the Fed. So, and alt season, the thing about alt season is when it happens, it's the moves are violent. Okay, the moves up are very violent. Things go crazy. We saw how XRP put a move in. This move, look at this move this is from November to January. It's done like a 7x. Okay. That's a little more than a 2-month move, right? 7x in about 2 months on an asset that was already, $40 billion. What happens when that kind of liquidity floods into small alts that are, 50 million, 40 million? It's got the potential to pump them 10x, 20x in a short amount of time, which is typically what happens when we encounter an alt season. And if you look at not this, where is it? Here we go. We're right in the middle, 53. Some of the big caps are moving. Solana was up, like I said. I think Sui was up a few percentage points. But the small alts have not popped yet. Unless you're an AI agent that caught a move, small alts have been down still. So soon, hopefully, the perfect storm is there. Yeah. And Mcade just released Gangs of Medicadia, $10,000 in rewards on the line there. If anyone's interested in joining a squad, $10,000. And imagine if, I don't know how long this one runs, but imagine a Gangs of Medicadia game that has a $10,000 prize pool to start, but then the prize pool triples or quadruples in a parabolic move. You're talking about a $30,000 to $40,000 prize pool prospectively, right? So these things, we're going to see crazy things happen. We're getting into the banana zone. Raul Paul says, don't F this up. We're going to see more and more craziness. It's going to become a daily thing, right? Where the crazy things happen. Yes. So yesterday, while the Trumpcoin was going crazy, I did pick up two AI infrastructure plays. I've been looking at AI infrastructure for a while. And so I bought, and I'll pull them up. First one I bought is Spectral AI, Spec, which is down on the day, 7 days flat. But look, it's been consolidating for about a year. When this launched, it went to $80 immediately, like within the first week. This chart doesn't go all the way back, but it went to like $80. I think it was like maybe May of last year. Came down. It's been consolidating in this range since September. Spiked in January alongside, oh, this is November spike. It spiked again over here. Oh, no, December. It didn't get a substantial spike off of the AI infra play, but it's $100 million market cap. It is kind of like virtuals. It's an, I'll pull up the website. So yeah, it's an AI infrastructure play that where you can create agents. I'm trying to find, these are the docs. Fully autonomous, powerful agents. Focus on agent creation. The token has governance powers, things like that. They're staking. It's a $100 million market cap. It's on Base, which I like. I do think that we're going to see Base and Solana as big winners. And this, I'm kind of looking to this for this to be kind of like a proxy play on virtuals, or beta play is a better word for it. You know, virtuals. It's at about a $2 billion market cap, down a bit now. AI infrastructure play also on Base. So Spec has been holding a strong floor. AI infrastructure, AI agent play. So I picked some of this up. I also picked up on Sol Hat, which I mentioned a couple live streams back when I talked about, I made this spreadsheet on different AI projects as part of my research. I'd come across Top Hat. This sold off last night after with the Trumpcoin launching because it hit Sol coins particularly hard. But we saw this got a big jump in January, and the pump settled back down. It's been now, kind of consolidating here. So $69 million market cap right now. I think I caught it yesterday at like a $58 million market cap. And it's an AI agent infrastructure play, right? Launches agents. I think fair launch, kind of like not a pump fund, but a launcher, right? And the AI agents are acting as memes. And so the infrastructure, I don't like to bet on the small ones and be in the trenches and all that, and take on too much risk. But I'd rather take on an infrastructure play, right? And Sol is going to continue to perform. And I wanted some exposure there. So I wanted some exposure on Base and Sol. And so I bought those two. Bought this one while it was down. Those are their two B-dubs. Top Hat and Spec. Val says, once again, U.S. saves the world again. We'll see how it plays out, man. Trumpcoin will bring in a lot of normies. It will absolutely bring in normies, right? Regardless of how you feel about them, it's going to bring in normies. And as Jordan said, Trumpcoin is now on Bybit, Mexi, KuCoin, etc. within 24 hours. No Binance or Coinbase. I don't, Coinbase, I'm not sure. Binance, I'm sure, will list it. Everyone is listing it within 24 hours. Jesse Pollock tweeted about it and basically said it's good for the space because it just brings more people on chain. And you can like meme coins or hate them. It's vaporware, whatever. But the bottom line is it onboards people to the space, right? And so the more people on chain, the better. The more retail that comes in, the better. Because eventually there's going to be rotation, and that money's going to flow into our alts. Let's see. I'll get into some Tectum now, which has been absolutely decimated. Well, $3.90. When I had Ron on last week, he talked about, he did some TA on it. He talked about how it's possible it could lose this floor of, in the $4 range. It was either going to double bottom or lose it and slip back into the threes, and it slipped back into the threes. And Tectum is causing people a lot of concern lately. I've been covering it for a while. I like the fundamentals of it. I like the narrative, fastest blockchain, layer 2, soft note for Bitcoin. But there's been a bunch of negative catalysts or things that have happened that have pissed off the community, right? Starting with an AMA a couple months back, maybe it was 6 weeks back, with Alex, the CEO, where he was drinking on stream. He was drinking wine. He was a bit drunk on stream, rubbed people the wrong way. And people got angry. It was a sloppy, messy AMA, right? Then shortly after that, the CEO left or got fired, right? And so there was inner turmoil there, possibly linked to the AMA. After that, there were more complaints with communication when Alex did another AMA and he confused everybody by talking about Synthesis Note and a new token that was going to be launched. But it's a new project that they're going to build on top of Tectum. But the way he came across in the interview, it left more questions than answers. And so, this all happened while the price was on a downtrend, which will cause a community to get frustrated, panic, and tie the two together. Then I was supposed to stream with Omar, who is the community manager of Tectum. We had a stream set up for Monday, this coming Monday, but that's no longer on because Omar also left Tectum. And so you've got, people leaving. You've got the price down. You've got poor communication from the CEO. And I've heard, things people talking about the team selling tokens, suppressing the price. Would not surprise me. I've not seen the blockchain data. I've seen people posting. I haven't looked at it myself. But they're suggesting that the team has been selling. And there are a couple of things about that. Teams that are not VC backed oftentimes have to sell to fund the project, right? They need money to do the things that they set out to do. So they have overhead and they have to cover the overhead. And oftentimes that comes at the expense of the token. And they have to sell it. Hopefully, they sell into volume and they don't hurt the price and things like that. The thing is, like, what are they using the money for? Is it fundraising for the project and getting things done, or something else? So I think there's frustration and FUD building around that, and that's reflected in the price. And whenever price is down, the negative narrative will take hold, right? I talk about that all the time, that oftentimes the price comes first and narrative second. So the price is down, and you couple that with all of these things, and people are ultra bearish and worried. If the price went up, people might be talking about fastest blockchain, soft note, etc. And so I did trim my Tectum position a little at $4.50, but I still hold the bulk of it. And I'm going to hold and see what happens. I'm not going to, I'm not selling down here. I do think that, momentum breeds momentum, right? And if it takes off and does well, I think people will look past, all of these things. They'll look past the community manager leaving, et cetera. So, they have another AMA scheduled. They had an AMA in the Telegram 2 days ago. I think it was on Thursday or Friday. I didn't catch it. People were happy with it from what I heard. People liked it. They're having another AMA, I think, next week. So I'm going to see what happens there. I'm just watching it. I'm going to sit back and let my bag ride for now. But that's Tectum and what's going on there. Someone mentioned, here we go, DEVI. Yeah. And DEVI is 8 million transactions per second. But I guess the difference is they use sharding, right? And which is like a blockchain on blockchains sort of thing. And so when you combine all those, you compile them, and it's 8 million transactions per second, which the world doesn't even need yet. Tectum says they do it on just, one blockchain, no sharding. That's the difference there. DEVI, super bullish on the price. And that's another reason like I can just sit back on tech, because I diversified. If I was over leveraged on Tectum, and that was like the one that I was like banking on, that was like my Neo, the one, then I might be more worried. But I'm diversified. I've got my DEVI bag, which is doing quite well. Dipped a bit, $1.50 right now. It was up at $1.80 and pushing up against resistance. All right, and so once we get past $1.80, it's going to get close to new all-time highs on DEVI, and then price discovery. And DEVI's been on fire. I expect it to, $1 billion, I think, after the announcement. Possibly it could happen if it's as well received as anticipated. If it's a big, household name that they've partnered with and get them in headlines with broader token awareness, I can see DEVI going up to $500 million rather quickly. Things move fast, right? Especially if it hits alt season in stride. Very bullish on DEVI. Bullish on the chart. And I'm bullish on Austin, who I'll be interviewing on Monday. He's the community manager for DEVI. I'll be talking to him about all things DEVI. So if you have questions, feel free to hit me up with questions related to DEVI. Let's see what else we got. Mr. Ivo here. What's good, brother? I haven't looked at Donnie in a minute. Let me take a look. I mean, the only thing that changed with Donnie is the, base memes have been hammered, right? So price is down. What's the market cap? 146K market cap. You want to see it hold the floor. Definitely want to see it hold the floor. It's not surprising that it broke down. I mean, most meme coins have been, have broke down. Solana meme coins, base meme coins. I've seen like Mumu the Bull, which was, I think, at like a $200 or $300 million market cap, got decimated all the way down to 40 or 50 million. I saw Boomer actually started going back up, but Boomer went down to 3 million from 12 million. Lost its floor. Chuck lost its floor a bit and is 1.2 million or something, 1.1 million. And so, Donnie, you want to see it hold the floor, and you want to see base meme season kick in because liquidity is not there yet. It's not there right now, right? And they've been hammered. They've been absolutely hammered, right? If you look at, let's pull some up. I always track crash on base because it was similar market, or was in like the same realm as like Chuck. This is the month, down 50%. 2.3 million market cap. And like the floor for this was like, it used to be like 5 million. Look at Chuck. Holding 1 million. But, the floor was like around here. Right? So we lost that floor. But, it doesn't worry me when it's, as long as the community is strong. The key for a meme coin like Donnie, like Chuck, like these small cap base memes, the key is to survive, right? You survive and the community remains strong, and then, you catch the liquidity. So we'll see. Cerebro. I've heard, let me look it up. I've heard of it. $180 million market cap. Here we go. It's launched last year. Well, it went up to 75 cents with the AI agent. Yeah. Let me look at the website. Memes, markets, and machines, the evolution to on-chain autonomy through hyper. Let's see what else. Whoops. I don't like this website. What is this website? Oh, so this is a base, or is this Solana? Or it's both cross-chain. Oh, cross-chain AI artist. I see. I don't know enough about it. They need to do something with the website, I would say, first and foremost. But, with these things, as long as it holds a good floor and, it seems like it's lost the floor a little bit. If it holds the floor a bit, I would wait for it a little bit to cement itself, hold the floor, see where it is. And if you like it, it's seems like an infrastructure play, cross-chain. I like the idea of cross-chain. It's on Bybit, BitGet, KuCoin, Mcade, Radium, Gate.io. It's got some exchanges, so it looks solid. So I haven't, no, I don't think I don't think it'll be a sell the news event. Well, we'll see. Let's see how Bitcoin closes on the weekly, and then where things go. In my gut, I don't feel it'll be a sell the news event, just because we haven't really broken out before. We're just testing the upper part of the range. So I don't anticipate a sell the news, especially when it's going to be all eyes on, the executive orders. And if there are executive orders, now look, you've got all these things now coming into play. You've got the meme coin, which is going to continue to generate headlines. You've got potential executive orders, and then the Fed meeting. So the real thing I'm looking forward to, and that I think could be a potential catalyst one way or the other, is the Fed meeting. And I think if the Fed meeting is not very hawkish, I think it could send this market. and, February, things could get kind of crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, Redo has been atrocious, to be quite honest. And I dumped it into something else. Not to say that it can't do well. I just consolidate sometimes. It's so here are my thoughts on Redo Resistance Dog. I think that not a ton of people are using Ton Network, and it hasn't. Let me pull up Ton Network. So Ton has been flipped by a few different things. I think it was like 12 if you go back a few months, and then Sui flipped it, XLM flipped it. I think it was even ahead of ADA, if I'm not mistaken. And Ton has just been, kind of flat since March. So I think that's part of it, is that Ton just isn't getting a ton of traction. There was like the catalyst of the creator getting arrested. We saw that big spike. I don't know enough about Redo to know about what the distribution is and the token holders and things like that. But it's down to a $14 million market cap. All memes have been down. So, you got that also, but it was trending down before. It's got like lower high after lower high. Hopefully get some sort of reversal and a move back up. But I think, this first big move up, and I'm not positive, but I would assume it was from Crashes Clay calling it as, one of his infinity stones or whatever. And I think that narrative still exists for Redo. And I think that, it could get another big run up. So, I sold it just because I wanted money for something else that was down. But, I think it's worth a hold into, a lot of things are beaten down. We'll see how it plays out. Ton Network, again, isn't getting as much traction. Thought that it would be a bigger narrative, but, Sui, I think, is really, in terms of layer ones, Sui's eclipsing it attention-wise. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a solid meme. I think hopefully he gets arrested again. That'd be awesome. Not for him, but for the coin. Appreciate the super, B-dubs. Let's see. What's good, Thanu in the house? Do I think there could be an opportunity for coins that are still in pre-sale? Have an eye on Rollblock, Gamble5. I don't think Gamble5 is going to do very much, to be honest. And I don't do pre-sales at this point. Just because of the vesting and when do you get your tokens, and then you miss a window because, a scenario could play out like last cycle where some tokens peak April, May. If there are indicators, if Trump superheats this market and accelerates Bitcoin and it totally breaks out, there's a possibility that, there's the pi cycle top indicator, which I thought I had open, flashes, and the market right once the short-term trend eclipses the long-term trend, or they cross paths. So my point is, if we get a top in like May or something, but I haven't gotten my tokens yet, I don't like that. Gamblify, it's not what I'm paying attention to. So I don't really like Gamblify for this cycle. But looking at, it's kind of good that we're taking our time. And Bitcoin has these consolidation periods, as annoying as they are, and how, we all want to get to alt season as fast as possible, right? But letting the market breathe a bit and letting Bitcoin consolidate creates a longer cycle, right? So right now, I think if these were naturally to cross paths, I was watching, I forgot who it was, maybe Rect Capital. They said that these would cross paths in January of 26, right? Because we've had this pullback. And so you don't want Bitcoin to be too overheated, because it could bring about the end of the cycle sooner than anticipated or expected. Might as well just hold Rito through years and see what Telegram does. I wouldn't hold anything through years, to be honest. Any alt. Other than Bitcoin, I wouldn't really hold anything through years, just because history has taught us that they'll go down 95%, right? And so my strategy is to sell heavily and start playing defense, sooner than later, right? Once alt season kicks in, I'm going to go into defense mode. I started making spreadsheets on how I expect to sell, and I'll share those here. I know a lot of people talk about profit taking. I'll share those here in a stream in the future, but I'm not holding anything. My plan is to sell, move to stables, take out whatever cash I need to pay for things that I want, fix renovations in the house, whatever, pay taxes, keep the rest in stables, and roll it into Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin has a heavy correction that I anticipate that it will, and then next cycle, possibly get into other, alts again, and, things like that. But 4 years is too long to hold. We've learned this lesson already, right? It's too long to hold something that's going to go down. There's greater than chances than not that it's going down 95%. So I get my alerts from, I don't get it. I don't set up alerts for when they go. I just constantly check. CoinGecko, if you create, I know CoinGecko will send out alerts. I don't think my CoinStats sets alerts. And I never even thought about setting them. Now that I think about it, I know it tells me when Bitcoin and Ethereum are up or down, and Solana, the big ones. And so those kind of signal me to check in on things. And just looking at the alts now, things are down. A lot of things are down. Yeah, but don't worry about down for now. And this is there's a lot of mind trickery here. Most small alts are down. Okay, if you look at even something like, Rio, which I look at as a very solid RWA play. Rio's down to 77 cents. So if it's behaving, I mean, TET broke down a bit, right? And Rito has broken down also, but things change fast. I wouldn't get too worried or caught up. Diversifying, I think, is super important, right? And hopefully along the way, Mcade, you get something like Mcade, DEVI. Those are the two that have really propped up my portfolio, right? And without those, my portfolio would be a lot lower right now. But those have really propped it up, and so I have the patience to wait for the others, because I do think it'll happen, just on a different timeline. Fartcoin ETF. We are going to get, you can expect more ETFs, indexes. I would not be surprised by a Memecoin index. It's going to get wild, I think. over the next 4 years with a completely pro crypto admin. The one thing you would think about and worry about is that you do need regulation, right? You can't. The space is very scammy, all right, and you do need regulation. It's not right to have rug pulls and people running away with money, like undoxed people who just rug a charts, honeypots, things like this. They're bad for the space and the industry, and that stuff does need cleaning up. So you don't want like no regulation, right? But I think David Sachs is smart enough and understands that you need guardrails in place to protect people. What's interesting is you look at Trump's site. Gensler would so go after him. And you look at the fine print here. Trump memes are intended to function as an expression of support for and engagement with the ideals and beliefs embodied by the symbol Trump. They're not intended to be the subject of an investment opportunity, investment contract, or security of any type. Right? So Trump's playing the game, team's playing the game. And what this will signal to people is that you can create meme coins, and you don't have to worry about the type of regulation that people have been worried about, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, what the unintended consequences are of it. But the first thing I thought, like I said, at 2:00 in the morning was this guy's going to pump the shit out of our bags because he wants to be the crypto president. And what he he's done this his whole life. Sell things, sell perfume, college courses, TV shows. He understands making a quick flip. And so I think once he got turned on to crypto and understood it, he's going to be exploiting it and trying to, juice it. It's going to be interesting. But let me see if any other things. Take another look at Hash AI. Yes. Throw your comments and questions down there because I'm almost ready to wrap up. If you guys are done. I think I had Hash on my list here. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these are now, this is the buy zone. And at this stage in the market, there's $104 million market cap. You see the consolidation over the last month. It's in the lower part of its range. On the yearly, it looks like a lot of charts. It's got a higher low. And it's been consolidating. So the chart looks, as healthy, I think, as, any chart. It's been consolidating, $103 million market cap. AI play. Revolutionizing artificial intelligence, optimizing crypto mining. Is this on ETH? Yeah, it's on Ethereum. And I think there are going to be a lot of winners in AI. And this looks primed to hit $1 billion. I do think that strong alts. Oh, that's key. I hate buy-sell taxes of 5%. I think that any strong coin in a hot narrative with, bullish sentiment and all that, they're going to get propelled from here hard. And I think coins like Hash AI are going to go into billions. So I had it on my list as something to look at. These are, Griffin's been strong. I think Griffin is up to over 400 now. But what's going to happen is these guys here are going to move up, right? So I think you're going to see Render get probably over 20 billion market cap. I think Virtuals, which had a nice run up already, but Virtuals I can see getting to 15, 20 billion. FET will have a nice run. All these guys are going to get up into more rarefied air, into like the 15, $20 billion market cap. And then these guys, many of these guys are going to move up into here. And some of these guys also. And put in big gains. So I'm going to be putting together a portfolio for my father-in-law soon. And that's the reason I made this AI list. And I'm adding to this list. I have some other things that I'm looking at. But they're gonna move hard. It's kind of like, the trend is your friend, right? Last cycle, you have to adapt a little. You have to see where the market's going, where liquidity is going. It's like I saw NFTs last cycle, but it was a lot because it's like a whole other thing, right? And so I faded it. I didn't really get into it, and I was sidelined on a lot of things that people made money on. And this cycle, AI is going to be huge, and you don't want to be sidelined if you're not in some AI projects, or if your portfolio is weighted not, my portfolio wasn't weighted heavily enough. So over the last few months, I've been adding some more AI stuff. But it's pretty much what I've got for today. I want to thank everyone for coming through. I've got a DEVI live stream on Monday. Come check that out. I'll be making some more short form content. Hey, Danny, late joining in, so maybe you talked about it already. Yeah, well, I just bought Spec. I don't know that it's my favorite AI on base. But it's an AI infrastructure play. Yeah. But maybe next time, I forget what's where. Maybe next time I'll break down by network here on this spreadsheet. But check out Spec. I just bought some of that. It's about $100 million market cap. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.